Happy Father's Day for everybody here in the States, and for everyone else, happy fake Hallmark holiday-ish. Thank you all for joining us. This is Take a Breath, where we review our episode of Chronicle of Last Breath every Saturday, at 2 p.m. We're joined today by our storyteller, Junie Von Esch. Enthusiastic waving. It works every time. Dr. Sexy Pants himself / herself.
That's me.
And I am Frank.
Just Frank.
I'm to the point, so let's just dive in. Yesterday was kind of special. Started off with a continuation, something we haven't done since season 1. It's been a minute. Just kicked down the door, started blasting, and literally started blasting. Opened up with us hearing gunshots and maniacal laugh of the female variety.
Laugh, cackle.
I feel like that's a maniacal laugh. I digress. No, you're good. You're good. I my headphones are at 90% right now, and you might blow something out. No. You're good. You're good. You're good. You can save that for the Halloween episode. Dr. Sexy
True.
MD.
It's very
I
true.
think that's up that way, or is it up that way? Dr. Sexy's up that way. I had to think about that. Yeah.
I was like, wait,
translate
I'm
a little
here.
Yeah, you are over here, but you are over here. No,
Gotcha.
So more or less it opened up with Amelia and William having a moment of sorts. They hear cackling that they both recognize fairly immediately. William puts 2 and 2 together that, well, he did see some bikers, and he should have thought about it a little bit harder on his way in, that he saw some Sabbats emblems of sorts. So they decide to help out Dia's sister and start blasting. Artemis gets shot. William doesn't enrage, thankfully. A couple of different things happen. Amelia has a brief conversation with Artemis behind cover, and to which, if I recall correctly, Amelia was like, "Aren't we being shot at?" Or something to that effect. William gets the attention of one of them and breaks out the pimp cane of his mind and has him kill his buddies before that bastard shoots Artemis. And yeah, that didn't end well for him. Amelia promptly followed up by making Artemis forget that William was even there. William went poof, dropped the gun off at the front door with Frank and told him to bring blood, and was kind of an asshole. But, I mean, same old. See a Junie today in stream because it is the final episode. Oh, for McStabbers. Congratulations, y'all. And that's McStabber Studios, another member of the family. They do their own chronicle. Well, Junie, you know a lot more about their chronicle than I do. Do you want to do a quick plug for them? Also have original artwork, if I recall, from a one James DiSerono pre.
I am totally muted. Oh my god!
Oh god!
Streamer.
Well,
Yay!
congratulations. That's the 3rd time that's happened. I just want to, pay respects. Also, that was a great plug that they didn't hear.
Yes. It was fantastic. Yes, they're DC by Night, and they have 3 coterie members. One is a Toreador. Second one
This is 9 inches.
Second one is a Gangrel, and the third happens to be a. Dare we say what he is, or should we let them figure it out? You know what? I'm gonna let them figure it out because they have to watch it now to find out what clan he is.
He's delicious.
He is the delicious variety. You are correct.
But Artemis gets shot. William drops off the gun with Frank. Frank says, bring him blood. Artemis is told to forget by Amelia, and for the most part it works, but William brings up a good point after the fact, but we'll get to that. The party... Doc, you can pick it up from once we get back in and we remove the bullets, right?
Yeah, well, Gabe was out there with them as well, so when Frank ran out with the blood, Gabe and Frank did a little bit of triage outside, and then as Frank and Amelia carried Artemis in, Gabe collected some stuff that was left behind as the bodies started to ash away.
Certain set of incendiary rounds, if I recall correctly.
Yes. Some nice incendiary rounds. Back at the house, did the best we could to sort of patch Artemis up, and Frank
breaks out the pimp vial of pimp juice and puts Artemis into a healing sleep for 3 hours.
Which was very nice.
Which was glorious. At which point, what happens next? I'm kind of blanking.
After that, what had happened was that after 3 hours, Artemis woke up, kind of disappeared in the night like she does, and then we did a couple of things during the week that people had for their goals. Like Frank went down to Indiana and did a talk and did some experimentation on some of the blood that's been going around and trying to find out which clans are really being hit hardest with this kind of new blood disease that is not only happening to the kind, but it has been getting into the circulatory system. Circulatory system, if you guys don't know what that is an actual system of processing and sending blood all around a particular area. This is around Chicago, down throughout the Mississippi, hits Tennessee, hits Missouri, hits Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin as well. And so there's also blood wine that gets done on that circulatory system. Human blood and actual humans get all processed through that. And they are noticing now that it is hitting exactly. You got it, McStabber. There is a disease that is affecting human blood that is making it very hard for Kindred to drink. And as the Kindred drink this blood, they are noticing their powers being weakened. They're getting sick. Though it hasn't been really reported just yet if any vampires have died from it. But you never know.
Based on experimentation and the way that the curse works, which we ascertained this past episode, it could cause cellular undeath, like true death, which, is kind of frowned upon. Various experimentation was done, as Junie had said, with different clan bloods under Josh's supply, who was the Baron of Joliet. Went back to Indiana, met with my former Baron, Eric, also True Bruja, for an experiment with his blood, just to really test it out. His among the two other clans that have some natural, hey, I'm gonna get you, buddy, against this disease, other Bruja and Gangrel, held their own because of the differences in the blood, because of how ancient and it being a different family tree that isn't as well known.
One of the also things is that the Tremere blood, even though they are quote unquote, as everyone knows them, as usurpers, the blood is magically trying to fight back.
They're tapping 2 blue and they're using counterspell.
Yes, pretty much.
But this was discovered while in Indiana towards the latter half of the week. Upon return, something unusual was happening. Like, nobody was paying attention to the home where the coterie currently resides, short of Frank. And at this point, if I recall, Gabe was trying to drop off a certain little kitty.
Yeah, so Gabe had decided to go into Chicago, was trying to return the cat to Portia, and Portia, of course, was like, this isn't my cat. I've never seen this cat in my life before.
Whatever are you talking about?
And Gabe was like,
Bitch
all right,
boys.
you don't want the cat, fine, whatever. So then after the cat, Gabe then went to the Tremere Chantry in Chinatown, I believe,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
Where they were like, yeah, the proprietor of the building wants to see you. And Gabe's like, okay. And it turned out to be Morgan, who, as we met last season,
Was Ed Sire.
she's a bad bitch.
She's not only a bad bitch, she's a Pontifex.
Queen bitch of the universe.
She's the Pontifex of the Chicago Chantry and the Primogen.
Yeah. But she did allow Gabe to use the library and stuff.
After what?
After.
After what?
Well, after taking a blood walk,
Yes.
and also Gabe agreed to give her information on any rituals and paths that he knew. And Gabe agreed. It's not confrontational.
It was awesome. It's like, oh, Tremere working together. Let's see how this works. Yay! Sparkly rainbows of magic in the Tremere kind of variety.
Yeah.
Yep, keeping it in the family.
And then as I was getting ready to head back, there was a gentleman standing by my car who went sort of eyes glazed over for a moment, handed me some pictures, and delivered a message from somebody connected to Olivia,
Indeed.
and told me that if the number rings to answer it, and the pictures had a phone number on the back. So then Gabe headed home, and this was about the time that Frank had noticed stuff going on around the house.
Or not going on. Like,
Or not going on, yeah.
going around trying to sell cookies. Should have been on top of me. Like, excuse me, sir, do you want to buy some Thin Mints? They are magically delicious. And, you know, they didn't.
Totally walked by him.
Which we never did find out the reasoning for, but I imagine that's probably going to come up sometime next step.
Possibly, maybe.
Possibly.
One
Not going to
never
lead our
knows.
storyteller on, but one anyway, so Gabe kicks down the door and starts No, Gabe shows up, and
And
We all
Olivia was pissed.
yeah, we all start having various conversations in the room next door. Like, we're not all vampires that have supernatural hearing and can hear shit.
Yeah.
But a couple of very important things happen. So the first conversation was between, if I recall, Gabe, Amelia, and Baby Vamp.
No, Baby Vamp was not involved.
Baby Vamp was not involved.
Where
It was
I
you
was
and-
discussing with Amelia about the pictures and the phone number, and we were discussing if we should tell Baby Vamp or not.
Right.
Y'all ultimately decided, if I remember, not to
Not
share
to.
that
Not to talk
information.
about it, yes.
Ooh, cutthroat.
And then Gabe and Frank had a conversation.
Which was Frank, actually.
It was rather to the point. Frank brought up 2 points. One, that he doesn't trust Abel.
And
Don't
Gabe
know
agreed.
why.
Frank, back in episode 1 or 2 or 3, episode 3, if I remember, imitated a certain discipline and ascertained a little bit of information. At that time, he thought Abel was a genius pretending to be a dirty vampire.
Too pretty to be a derpadoodle when really he is a derpadoodle.
He is a true derpadoodle.
Total
Yeah.
derpadoodle.
Which is Frank is trying to reconcile with right now, because like even Gwen said in a previous call, you should be able to trust him. He's kind of a straight shooter.
literally, he is very much a straight shooter.
Yeah.
To the point
We
of
should
straight
also
shooting.
we should also mention that right before these conversations took place, Abel was very much like, we should go on a field
Field
trip,
trip.
and I want to take the puppy. And
Yeah.
we're like,
No.
Why? no. So that sort of led to a bit of the distrust as well, because we're like, why?
Yeah. Which Frank brings up because he knows that he and Abel don't mesh. As a thin blood, try not to get killed by crossing the lines. Like, Cammy territory, unless he's with Gwen, which is probably the safest place he could be, is not ever going to happen. Like, he avoids it when he goes down south to visit Eric. Like, let's be fair here.
Well-
He's not pro Cammy.
Well,
and he
then
travels during the day.
thin blood, automatic death sentence. Yeah, murder all thin blood. Yes.
Blood Sam.
So, the K-Tiff and the Thin Blood have a beef, and that'll probably come to a head sooner rather than later, because egos. Well, ego and lack of ego.
Yay for pride.
Yeah, well, you act like you're better than me, and I'm the underdog. I'm going to take you down a notch because bark. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we have that conversation. We exchange a little bit of info. We both agree that it is, in fact, a curse rather than a disease of human or not so human making.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's,
You did tell Gabe that the different clan bloods responded differently.
Yeah, and if I remember, I shared with you that immunity.
Yes.
Well, at least,
Well, so far.
yeah.
Yeah.
As far as I could tell, based on True Bruja Thin Blood.
Yeah.
So, yay!
Yeah, he learns that the thin
Might as well
bloods
be human.
thin bloods actually have a purpose and a use.
Oh yeah. It's not just to hear the murmurings of antediluvians and all that.
I'm sure
jazz.
it'll be exploited. It's fine.
Oh yeah. You're the only person I brought it up with, and no one's going to cut me open for science. So,
Not
Yeah.
Gabe will.
so the
Gabe-
party did a split.
Well, if he's already dead, technically.
It's already used. They make good firewood. Ah! Damn! Hold on. I'm just gonna slowly open this up.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Now, arguably, the Thin Bloods are, and I apologize for using this term, but in a sense, kind of the master race of vampires. We can do anything.
Only if you have the right chemical knowledge for alchemy.
Just put 2 months into it, and I can learn
My
any
venture
discipline.
You'll play next Saturday for a one-shot stream. Nice. No, it'll be interesting because I'm doing a different twist with Thin Bloods. As most people believe that your friendship is yes. Well, I'm actually showing that there is a possibility and a need at times for Thin Bloods. So therefore, there might actually be something about them that nobody knows about yet because they haven't actually exploited their use.
Yeah.
That'll change.
Well, as we found out in other Thin Blood clans, based on testing coming up this week, not so fortunate. Maybe one other, the Bruja and the Gangrels are the only ones that still hold their own, but still would probably kill the Thin Blood. But anyways, that's getting putting the cart well ahead of the horse.
So after the conversations, we agreed that you would stay behind because you didn't want to go to Cami territory, and the rest of us would go and meet Abel's friend / Olivia's vamp trainer, which was just, God, a great time, really.
So, yep, I'll text you if I need anything. Sorry. So there is a little bit that did happen in between. Frank did reach out to Gwen, briefly got her caught up on which clans had immunities, which clans were the strongest against said disease, and also got a little bit more information about Abel, which, it was needed.
Yeah, I did
Caught up
so.
with Josh. Heard about Josh's plan for world domination on the 27th. Or no, I apologize, the 4th. The 4th of July.
Third?
Or the 3rd of July. 3rd of July, yeah, so.
In Chicago, we
In
celebrate...
Chicago.
In Chicago, we celebrate July 4th on the 3rd.
So, he's probably going to share that information with a couple members of the coterie throughout this upcoming week, but he meets up with Josh, informs Josh of that, and pushes for Thin Blood testing. So Josh starts making calls, and Frank even brings up a dangerous notion of, even if it means just turning people and cleaning up the mess afterwards. We're talking World War II doctor type. Oh no. Specifically of the German variety.
And, of course, with Josh, he knows what that means. But being that this could stop a plague going on around all of his territory,
He considers it.
being also he's an anarch, he does have certain thin bloods in his territory that hide and are trying to move around certain things. So he does do a lot of helping of other thin bloods finding new homes and resettling and whatnot. So he has quite a list of thin bloods. Have a good one. Thank you so much for stopping by the Big Stabbers. Have a great show tonight.
But that happened a little bit before, during the time of Amelia's eyes glazing over as the poverty history of vampires is explained to Olivia by Cassius.
Yeah, I thought I'd just
Over in
that.
Cammy. Yeah. I mean, even her eyes glazed over. She did get a text from William during that time saying, "I am here. Where are you? Let me know if you're safe." So that was a thing that happened. But, hey, Junie, did you want to go into Abel's shining, beautiful,
Oh my God.
starry night moment?
Hi, I'm Abel.
How are you today?
You know, I can't give it justice. I would highly recommend reading the VODs on that one, or watching the VODs on that one, because it was literally watching glory and greatness all rolled into one just happen magically.
What is your name? Where do you work? Who do you know?
But the thing is that he did it in such a way that
It was perfect. Like, it just worked so well for his character.
I mean, he was being so nice, like the nice guy next
I'm
door.
being so rude. And then he just turns and talks to the next person.
I was ready for him to do a Ned. A Ned from Simpsons. Okay,
howdy ho, good neighbor.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking he was going to do next.
You know, he channeled something there, and I'm not sure what, but I'm actually terrified to know him in real life now.
Yeah.
Don't you
Yeah,
guys-
definitely,
top
though.
chill.
If you only have like an hour of time, the last hour of the stream is definitely worth your time watching.
Oh my God!
For
I was
sure.
like, I don't know how much I could hide behind my fan because he made me laugh so hard.
Oh, I was dying like the whole time.
What information did we glean from his torture,
So
though?
we gleaned from his torture that I believe it was it Weevilton? Wesselton? I know it started with a W.
Wheaton.
Wheaton. Okay, Wheaton. So
Will Wheaton.
It's
which
Wheaton.
as I guess we learned in season 1, there's Second Inquisition based
Of
there.
operations there, yeah.
So, you know, his Ventru buddies that are part of the Capone gang had said that these were members of Second Inquisition. So he's trying to talk to them and be really friendly and, you know, just trying to find those little connections, you know, and they're not really giving up too much information.
Gave up names. If I
Well,
recall, 4 of them is what Jenny said. 3.
3, yeah. There are 3 names.
Henry, Joan, and Bill Bob.
Yeah. And there was a couple connections based off of, like, one of them was the pastor's wife or something, and then another
Yes.
one worked for a financial company as an accountant with clients in that area. So,
And Bill
you know,
Bob was a pharmacist.
Bill Bob was a chemist
Chemist, yes.
pharmacist. So we were getting to that, you know, point where he's like, "Oh, you guys have no more information for me. Well, then I have no use for you."
Oh no! Oh no! What is 1 point intelligence boy going to do?
Well, we're looking at Henry was a financial advisor who did have clients in Wheaton, and he offered to give up the clients' names only. And he was
Right.
trying to get himself being set free out of the bonds so that he could access his phone and give them the names. Mary, who happens to, Joan happens to be the pastor's wife. We find out her husband had to go to their friend's house in Wheaton for a couple of days, and he had returned back wondering where Joan was. And Bill Bob Well, Bill Bob works out of Zion, so he goes north. He doesn't know where Wheaton is, in theory, and then he works for a pharmaceutical company making drugs for certain mental hospitals for those that need those special kind of drugs.
We'll put that in your peace pipe and smoke it.
Yes, we really haven't gotten to the connections just yet.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to be getting to it next week.
Yeah.
Victory.
We will be for what Abel might be pulling out of his bag of tricks, we will be putting it into a PG perspective and talking about camps and different kind of camping supplies and things like that for those that are more of the sensitive nature of things.
Or we can just glaze over it.
That too.
Just say, well, he gets really
Yeah.
creative.
Gabe did put up Court of Hollowed Truths in
Yes.
the area, so that would at least make it easier to get information before Abel,
Starts trouncing people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's going to fork them.
Yeah,
There might be
I-
some kebabs made.
I don't foresee Gabe staying in that room very long after
See, Frank would,
after
Frank
getting
would
that
be
info.
okay with that.
I don't
Not so
see
much.
him either. Just
And he saw it in Nam, so.
pretty much.
Not that Gabe hasn't seen that kind of thing. It's just that's not Gabe's stick. So
Yeah, nobody.
yeah.
That's Abel's shtick, I think, is getting off to.
Have Zed yell and pound his desk and Judy scream. I like that. You can just do it that way instead.
I can scream, but I'd have to scream from like in my bedroom in the bathroom with the door closed to really get that mass effect.
I used to try that, and I mean, you got that goddammit clip from that, so.
Could work.
Good luck!
Oh yeah, that's why I will have to make sure I'm drinking tea at that point.
Lots of tea.
Das is fair. So that's where it kind of fades out to black, at least for last week. Or for this week.
Yeah.
That leads me into a couple different questions. So, who are our current NPCs that are active and in play? I know we have Josh currently. We obviously have Gwen. We have
Artemis.
Yeah, we got Artemis.
We have
And I
William.
mean, William's borderline NPC.
Well, William right now is I would say PC for the moment because he really can't make any power plays just yet. But we do have Johnny. Johnny's the goal. We have
Oh yeah, didn't he and Frank
Sarah?
have a brief one-off there?
no, it was Tony.
Oh yeah, and he was like, "Hey, you should be careful about saying names."
Yeah.
To which he's going to call in a favor from Amelia on that. Remind me,
Sure. Nah, go
covering
on.
your brother's mistakes.
But here's the funny thing is that with Johnny and Tony, you guys learned that Tony's been in his service for 20 years. And
Yeah, he can be old.
Or Johnny's been in service for 20 years, but Tony is not.
That leads to a question.
Yeah.
So, Tony is a 40-year-old man, then, right?
Both are 45 years old.
Okay, but one still looks like he's 20.
Both of them look like they're still 25 years old. They're identical twins.
But only
almost.
one is ghoul.
Correct.
So
It's
one
that
should be
really
a
nice
little
genes.
bit. Yeah, one's going to be a little bit more supple than the other.
They both look the same age as being 25.
Okay.
They're clones.
They're Wonder Twins.
Possibly.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh god, what if they're both mages? Junie, don't do me like that.
What mages? There's no such thing.
They're
They
in the
don't
toasters,
exist.
they're in the
I don't know what you're
microwaves, they're in
talking
the light bulbs.
One's a golem.
Was a golem? Yeah.
Hey! All I have to say is somebody got a phone number that he hasn't called yet.
Oh yeah, I still need to call Rachel, don't I?
Somebody totally forgot.
Nah, that was gonna be a
Yeah.
project this week. That's the reason. One of the reasons why I hadn't messaged you with my shit. So.
See,
Yeah, I
I
guess
considered after talking to the Tremere numbers I got trying to find some mage help. That would have been my next step.
Yeah.
So
That'll definitely be a goal. Did you put that in your goals? I don't remember.
To call the. Let's find out. Let's find out.
Okay.
What's
good.
behind
did I
door
put
number
my-
goal?
What did I put in my goals?
Schrodinger's goals you don't know until you look at them.
Get in touch with the Tremere that we're gonna. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
good.
goal number 3.
Groot. And we I guess over this upcoming week we should discuss what Frank and Gabe are getting into a little bit. Gabe is going to attempt to teach Frank how to blood sorcery. It's not
Yeah.
going to work because Frank has no aptitude for it.
Which is, hey, it's fine.
Yeah.
You live and learn.
It's a teachable
Not
moment for
wrong,
both of us.
absolutely.
Our shit
Yeah.
is not interchangeable. It's a one-way stream. You can drink the vials I give you and they'll work, or not.
I can just do the rituals myself.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah. It's
but
alright.
it takes Frank down a notch, but it also opens his eyes that, well, maybe I am a little bit more unique than I thought.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then let's see. Gabe is also going to try to have a conversation with, in my lab with Abel, my lab that I have also casted Court of Hollow Truth on.
Yes, you have.
Maniacal laugh.
Yeah, and then get in touch with the Tremere. Those are pretty much my goals.
Basement lab or hospital lab?
Basement lab.
Oh, that's gonna be easier.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
That's
that's
why
gonna be
I
a
did
lot
it.
easier.
I was like, hold on, I have to get stuff from downstairs. Sets up ritual.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I just hope that Amelia doesn't have to use that leaden moment that I gave her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't be too hard because honestly, I can just, if I just tell Olivia, hey, Olivia, come to my lab. Oh, Abel,
He'll
I
come
guess
with.
you have to follow her. Like,
You're right.
G. Written said the lab where you can leave Kindred crucified for on the wall for a week.
Why would
Sure.
you do that?
I mean, I don't know why I would need to.
Why
but-
wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's. I mean,
Well,
It's
why
not-
wouldn't you? But also, why would you?
it doesn't really
Well-
add to the decor.
No, but if you have the blood from another clan, you could turn around and learn their disciplines.
Well,
Yeah,
for
but-
fun, yeah, but I mean, like, as far as the amount of effort that puts in to, like, the fun received, it's not an equal exchange.
Yeah, and it's a bond, right? Because you have to drink it straight from the tap to learn their disciplines.
Yeah, but the thing is that some people might have the unbondable trait.
Yeah,
Uh,
some
those-
people.
Not this person. not yet. I don't know if that's in Gwen's bloodlines, but we shall see.
Yeah.
I know from another story trope that there was another Tremere. There's Slippery actually, who had 2 Tremere locked up in his basement, and he was drinking from them to learn blood sorcery and a couple other disciplines he did not have.
Tremere are the safe bet because they can't be bonded,
But
or
the
you
thing
can't
is-
bond to them.
Right, you can't bond to them.
Unless you have a certain ritual that allows you to ignore Bane existence.
Oh,
Which I
That's
don't.
true.
But,
Not
which I
yet.
don't, but it exists.
Yes, it does.
Oh god, you're just gonna slam your face into the books and be like, knowledge.
Actually,
I want all the rituals. That's literally where all of my experience points have been going. It's been
She's-
like nothing but rituals.
she's not wrong.
Oh god, I have not yet touched any of my experience because I'm saving up for to top off. I can't top off Temporis, but
Mm.
the only thing I can do is start skilling out. But I'm saving it for if I become a vampire, because the first thing I'm gonna do is get my 5th point in Temporis.
I really should save up because I do want to get up to Auspex 5.
Ooh, that's a
Um,
good one.
Because, astral projection.
I want to become a master of time and space. I'm sorry.
Cool. Yeah. But like, I don't want to have to sit there and wait for like what is it, like 25 points? Is it 5 per level for
Yes.
disciplines? Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Like,
no, it
why
might
would
be
I
7.
wait
Nope,
to get
6.
25?
No, it's 5
points?
internal if it's in clan. 5 in clan,
Yeah, it's
7
5
out
in
of
clan, 7 out of clan.
Yeah.
So why would I wait when I can spend those 25 points on rituals? Like,
Gimme.
Because. I keep saying 6 because it's creative disciplines.
Oh, you see,
Yeah.
even Abel's class is just 6s. They're all
Yeah.
6s and 7s. Get it? You're crazy. Ah! No, Canadians. Anyway, so yeah, I guess that covers some of the NPCs that are in play. Are there any important ones that we've missed? I know Nyx is still an NPC that owns the bar down near where Frank lives at his warehouse.
There might be
we have
some new NPCs coming into play soon.
Okay, we also have the doctor's assistant. What's her name?
Jackie.
Jackie. Nurse Jackie. I feel like that's on.
There's Nurse Jackie, and then there's Nurse Jackie.
The artist formerly known as Nurse Jackie.
Yeah.
Imitation Jackie.
Not
Right.
wrong.
Jackie Light. Diet
Jackie Light. Diet Jackie. Oh, that's clever as shit. I digress. Let's see. Is there anybody else that I'm missing that we're aware of?
That you're aware of? I think you've covered everyone.
Excellent. All right. All right.
Yeah, the only thing is that if Sarah doesn't live, and if Johnny doesn't live,
That's the one I'm concerned.
Johnny not living. I'm
Yeah.
thinking that with Frank's first goal and his knowledge of the occult, he'll be able to make headway on that front.
I'm hoping so. Because
Yeah.
my thought was when I asked the Baron about doing the ritual last week to turn him into possibly a Tremere vampire, I was like, no, wait. He must, this has got to be somebody, he really cares about.
Yeah, I mean, to have
Like,
Gold him for 20 years.
and 20 years, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, let's try not to let this person die.
well,
You
the
gotta
thing is
maximize your
that
success there.
He'll
So
be upset if he dies and gets turned into Tremere, but at least he's alive.
But at least he's still alive, yeah.
So-
and that was the trade-off. It's like,
purely OOC. This is just curiosity only.
Mhm.
Is he one of Josh's touchstones?
Oh,
This
you
is
mean
just
the
pure.
twins?
Yeah. Are one or both, or one or the other, or both his touchstones? Just out of character. Is that something that we should be as people should be concerned about?
I mean, we don't.
You should be
we don't-
concerned.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, so if we turn him, he'll still take that point, but then maybe not. Oh god, because William still took the
It's
points.
like a catch-22. We either there are three outcomes. Either he dies, he lives, or he gets turned.
Or there is a third option.
And two of those
fourth
outcomes
option.
are one's great, two are okay, and the last one's we don't want to happen.
There is a fourth option. It should.
He lives, he dies, he lives again.
Well, I mean, if we can track down. Oh, there's two other options I can think of. If we can track down a Zamisi and
Right.
remove his blood and replace it with other blood immediately,
I can technically do that.
then that's something
Well,
that Frank's been
I'd actually-
considering. But
Do I have that ritual? Hold on.
Frank's been considering that, but
I
he doesn't
don't
know if
think
that's
so.
possible. He thinks only a Zamisi could do it. But that'll probably be something he brings up with Gabe further down the line, as we could just replace his blood entirely.
I don't have the ritual, but I can get it.
Damn. Yeah, I mean,
If only there was a doctor that knew about a dialysis machine.
Right?
well,
Right. I mean, that would be obvious choice, but
I mean, it's kind of like asking the four houses, there's a door, it's locked, you don't have the key, what do?
you kick down the door and you start blasting.
And then you have the Ravenclaws going, I'm gonna go find the key. The Slytherin's like, I'm gonna break it down.
No. The Slytherin's going to have somebody else do
The
the work to open the
Ravenclaw's
door.
if you can get enough leverage to lift the door, that's the Ravenclaw way. It's not about the key.
No, they had a whole meme on it on TikTok.
Yeah, but
Oh,
that's inaccurate
gotcha.
as fuck, though. Let's
Yeah,
think about this for a second.
And so,
Gryffindor would get all their buddies to start slamming their shoulders into it because they want to get inside.
Slytherin would
Hufflepuffs,
hire people.
yeah, Slytherin would just, abuse the Gryffindors and be like,
exactly.
you know what's behind the door? 100 points for Gryffindor. Oh, give me that shit!
and the Ravenclaws were gonna hide a key, and then it was
And the Hufflepuffs are just getting stoned in the next room over and they don't give a fuck.
No, well, the Hufflepuffs just went. We're gonna go knock on the door.
Oh, yeah, we got off topic there.
But
My
no,
apologies.
No. But that's a great way of showing how everyone thinks of answers for a problem.
Oh, yeah.
When everyone's like, just use the dialysis machine.
Yeah, I mean,
Nobody thought
if
of
Frank
that.
brings that up, then Gabe will probably be like, aha moment, and human it before he puts the time into learning another fucking
Yeah.
ritual.
There is. I mean, obviously, like, Gabe's kind of trying to see what happens with Sarah
Yeah, I mean, we
to
don't care about her.
establish timeline a little bit.
Oh,
So,
there is an important thing that happened in the kitchen that we forgot. I apologize. I didn't mean to run
ooh,
over
what
you
was
there.
the thing that happened?
The other thing that had happened is a certain Amelia provided blood to a certain pupper in
Yes.
our group, and the first words out of Frank's mouth said out of his mouth, "Oh, thank God I'm not tied to that bitch."
Yes. So Frank is no longer 1 point bloodbound. Olivia is, but it helped a little bit with the bond with her sire, which was kind of the goal.
Which I am now making a note.
Yeah, very important to note.
That is important to know.
That is very
Because-
important to note.
Because no more bond for Frank.
Yeah.
No
Also,
more
I
betrayal.
have a feeling that until the puppy has control, that Gabe's gonna have to be the one to keep cooling the cat.
It's gonna be now your cat.
Gabe didn't want the cat.
The sacrifices you make, and I don't live
Yeah.
there, so it's not my problem. Just saying.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when the cat starts going up against the Gabe's leg, going.
Damn it, Kitty! I just fed you. I know. Damn it, Kitty!
Kitty, not now.
Not there, Kitty. Man, Kitty caught me, dude.
So here's the funny thing: is when that cat starts to go to Gabe instead of Olivia. How devastated is Olivia gonna be?
I mean, like I said, once Olivia gets to the part where she's like in control and like on like the, you know, whatever, then she can cool the damn thing herself. I don't care.
Yeah, that'll take about a year.
Yeah.
So once a month, you just have to put a little bit of your blood on some catnip for it. Oh no, it has to drink from the vein. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. And weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing like a raspy tongue just looking at your veins. That's
Looking at your wounds. I hope that's not going to get infected.
Hey, that's okay. This will be entertaining because Olivia's gonna see how it's done, and she'll be like, "But that's my kitty."
It's my kitty. No,
and
you're being a dildo.
Gabe's command to the cat is gonna be her. Go her. Stay
Leave
on
me
her.
alone unless you need me.
You can't turn a cat, D-Written. The cat will die.
Can a Guru turn a cat?
A guru can't turn anything. You're born guru.
Right, but semantics.
No, you are born.
Can a mage make a cat
Well, not
to a
with
Guru?
that attitude.
Right. Like, this is Father's Day, all right? This is when we all pay homage to the great and powerful Dr. What's-His-Face from Full Metal Alchemist that turned his daughter into a dog girl.
No.
Best father ever. Father of the year.
Too soon. Hashtag
It's never too soon if
too
you stick to the
soon.
program.
Oh my god.
I'm sure they're fair.
Moving away
Yeah,
from
we brought
that miserable.
one. No.
Moving away from that miserable sack of memory.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
What else is on tap for Gabe this upcoming week? Anything we should be aware of?
At the moment, that's kind of it. Just, you know, looking into the Tremere, trying to get... and what I'm really trying to get out of Abel is, you know, I can send to Junie and I can send to Abel, but, you know, it's basically just like, what exactly do you want? Like, that's what I am trying to get down to the point of, so...
That's fair.
What is Abel wanting?
Yes. Not so much, like, what's in your contract, and not so much, like, why are you here, but, like, what do you want?
Ooh, he's too simple to understand that question.
We'll find out.
Yeah, that's next week.
I mean, he'll have to give an honest answer. So whether that's, you know, an honest answer that's not accurate or not is a different story. But
yeah. As for Frank, gonna obviously do some occult research into the curse, and report into Gwen and Josh and Gabe. He's gonna call the number, which I'm assuming, with my luck, is gonna be Squiggles, or it's going to end up being Rachel, our Lord and Savior. And then he's also going to share what was discussed with Josh in full detail with Amelia as kind of a thank you for not fucking me over when you could have fucked me over, but you didn't.
You're not wrong.
And bring up the fact that Tony did name drop her brother, and he corrected him. As I'll look out for you. Just know that your brother's making a mess. And we should avoid Chicago on the 3rd.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be real nice. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Because,
imagine he would
Gabe
share
was thinking
that.
about going up there.
I imagine that he would share
hot
that
dog.
little tidbit with everyone short of Abel, because fuck Abel. He can go have a circle jerk with his candy buddies up there.
Damn.
Well, but
No,
he won't
Frank does
because he
not
has
like
to be
it.
with Olivia.
Exactly. But
Mhm. No, I find it interesting and entertaining just to see how everything is going to wrap up a roll from this going on. Plus, seeing how Frank and Gabe are actually working on two different aspects of the problem and trying to bring it together.
you would think that Gabe would hit it from more the occult side.
Well, being that he just found out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. So
Yeah.
this week it's going to be the combo breaker, and I imagine Frank would probably reach out to Gabe to see if it would be if it's amicable enough to try to utilize some of the Tremere libraries up north. Like Frank does
And-
not want to do that, but if he reaches out to Gwen to get approval and.
Well, you also have to remember, are you talking about Chicago or are you talking about
Yes.
Milwaukee?
I'm talking about Chicago getting into the not the sanctuary. What's the word I'm looking for?
The Chantry.
Chantry.
Well,
To have access to some of their curse
I will
research or details.
I will drop that you can also try that very dangerous route to Milwaukee, because that prince they had a Tremere prince, as everyone knows who Kara is, and she might be slightly on the run now.
Yeah, I mean that would be feasible, but go with the devil that you know rather than the devil you don't.
This is true.
And at least with Gwen, he has a certain level of protection.
No,
And I mean, Gabe would probably put out there, well, if you have Gwen, and we put it the right way to Morgan, it may be possible.
Yeah, and
This is
then
true.
yeah, I mean if your sheriff's investigating something, you don't beat that. Otherwise, you deal with the hellhounds.
I mean, fortunately, this is a problem that affects everybody,
Everyone, yeah,
not
so-
just Anarchs or Cam. So
But I do think it would be kind of at least with Morgan, I feel like she would look down on Frank so much that Frank would just fucking fire in his eyes the entire time. Like, I could just see that. But she does like knowledge. She does like power. So if he presents it that, I don't know. It'll be fun to see.
it's okay. You can be my assistant.
You know what?
Ho, 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 ho.
You can
Frank
all-
might go for that just to get access to the research stuff. So
You could always turn around and roll me, composure and resolve.
I'll be doing that the entire
and
time.
then
What the fuck are you kidding?
And then charisma plus persuasion, just to see if you can get into that door.
All right.
You want us to do
all right.
that now?
Yeah, let me find my phone.
Oh
Where's
yeah,
my
I'll
phone?
do it. Hold on. Where's my
We
dice?
got 9 minutes. Why not?
Yeah, we got time. We got
You
time.
said charisma and manipulation or
Charisma and persuasion,
persuasion?
and then Frank would need to roll me charisma and persuasion plus
Resolve and
composure.
Ooh, okay.
oh, that's gonna be a
I have a
disappointing roll.
feeling I'm gonna be burning my last couple willpower here.
Oh.
Let's see.
So resolve and stuff came back 5 or 4 flat,
Okay.
and you said the other one was Charisma.
plus persuasion.
6 crit.
Cool.
Gotta knock that willpower down.
Tell me I'm persuasive. No, I am not persuasive. This is moderately disappointing. All right, let's see. Let's die. You know, just because of how important it is, I'm going to burn a blood. So,
And Gabe will be starting
full-
next session with this many willpower.
And I'm going to
So-
blow willpower.
Nice.
All right, so out of a pool of 5 die, I'll take 5 flat.
So what will happen is when you go into the chantry, Gabe has enough sexy charisma going on as a doctor, and he's just gonna be like, Morgan, he's my assistant. we work very well together. And of course, as she discovers that he's thin blood, and she goes all poo-poo on him, he has enough resolve and composure to handle that like a champ.
Bite his fucking tongue. Borderline bleeding.
Oh, Gabe.
Healing on the spot, though.
Actually, Gabe, give me a wits plus insight.
Wits and insights.
Wits and insight.
I mean, I'd punch the old broad straight in the dick if I need to.
Oh, that's
I
a
just wanna
decent
blow
roll,
the books.
She has to have a dick to be punched in.
I know, but she's the queen bitch of the universe.
You're not wrong.
Her
And
clitoris is like a foot long.
so,
She just swings it around.
so.
Crit 5.
Oh yeah. So you're looking at, him, handling this like a champ. You know he wants to bite his tongue, but he's just going with it because he knows how important this is. So when you guys go in there, and his charisma, or in his
My silvered tongue.
yes, his silver tongue makes it sound like you two are like two perfect
Copacetic.
peas in a pod.
Yeah, we're copacetic.
Oh, you're beyond copacetic.
Using doctor vocabulary.
You're beyond copacetic. You're like medical twins.
We're like a fine-tuned machine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gabe keeps
got
me
you.
around because some of the more depreciated arts that you work with, or used to work with, that I'm familiar with. And we
Yeah.
want to approach this at every possible angle.
Yeah, just like Gabe talk.
No, that's James talk.
Yeah.
I was channeling James there. Whoops.
That's okay. No, I think that with that going on, then you would be able to get in very, very nicely without problem.
Cool. Well, that'll be a project that Frank will reach out to midweek then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. If you guys want to do that off screen, absolutely. And
Okay.
then what I'll need you guys then to do this week is do a couple of intelligence plus occult rolls. Don't forget, and I did forget, and I apologize, Gabe. Add an extra dice to your rolls because you are not only in the Chantry, but you are in Chinatown, which adds an extra dice to your roll. I forgot about that, Gabe, so my apologies.
No, that's fine. Works for me. So intelligence and
Okay.
occult. When do you want them and how often? Like just like one
I'm-
on Tuesday, one on Thursday?
Yeah, sure.
1 hour on Thursday
hour.
from 9 p.m.
Every day.
to 2 a.m.
No, you know what? I'll take 3 rolls.
Okay, 3 each.
3?
3. But please, write them down for me because I will forget and sleep.
That's
you said
fine.
anti-cult.
No. Intelligence plus occult plus an extra dice.
Oh, 7 die. How I missed you. Gotta go ahead and burn a willpower. We're gonna do this the right way. Crit 7 for the first roll.
Good. Write it down. Send it to
No, I'm
me.
sending them to you 3 at a time. Okay. So, yeah, we got a little role play in at the very end.
Nice.
Yeah, right? No, all the literal jokes. But any last thoughts from Storyteller, Gabe? Y'all feeling
Frank.
anything?
I'm looking forward to next week.
Right? Knowledge is power, and I feel like we're going to beat this thing into submission, like, thoroughly.
Well, you'll find out and expose.
Yeah, we'll figure out a good next step.
And
Let's go with that. A very solid next step.
depending on what your next step is, might actually require a very heavy leveled NPC to come in.
Oh no.
Oh.
Yes, I mean, but
Sweet.
no.
So it sounds like I'm calling in that favor from that taxi driver I met back in 1992.
Oh, no, not that powerful.
Frank, we're gonna crush it.
Right? Crit 7, crit 6, crit 7.
Crit 9.
I burned 2 willpower. Oh!
So I guess I'm going to have to start preparing Beckett to come visit you, huh?
Oh, shit.
Oh no.
It's getting real, yo.
And
So we
we're
get to
only
look
in
forward to
fifth-
that next week.
in the 6th episode. Oh God.
So to close out our little take a breath, thank you all for joining us.
I am gonna
hope
have to
you all
take a
can
breath
catch
now.
us next week at Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for what was it? Last breath, not take a breath. What am I on?
What did you take before Take a Breath?
Poverty.
Just remember to breathe. That's the important.
Yeah,
Yes.
breathing's important, yeah. What was the social?
Mm-hmm. I don't know what the other one was for family.
Was it
Probably,
just
yeah.
like
Exclamation mark
family?
It might be. In our chat, you're going to see links to our YouTube,
Yeah,
our Twitter,
Yeah.
Instagram, as well as other members of the family, including McStabber Studios, which was in chat with us earlier briefly. And feel free to follow up with them, watch some of their
Content.
masquerade messes.
They actually have a higher body count than you guys. Even higher body
Just started,
and a higher body count than last season.
including Shaggy going Earthquake. Like, that wasn't even his final form.
Yeah, but they had a riot.
Oh, that's imitating life a little too much.
No, this is way, way, way before any of that happened.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no.
Fucking
no.
meant.
Yes.
Anyways, thank you all for joining us. Feel free to follow our friends and family, and make sure you kick us a follow on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and if you're not followed yet on the RPG table here on Twitch, slam that follow button. We look forward to seeing y'all next week.
Take care. Bye.